A couple weeks back, I saw this post on my For You page of this girl talking about how she started to get way more hits on her dating profile once she removed her race from her profile.
If I have enough money to take care of myself, so I expect the person that I'm in a relationship with and planning to get married to should be able to take care of me.
And the reason that we are not protected as Black women is because we voted that we didn't need protection.
The next time you go on strong, independent Black women, or you're just wondering, why don't Black men protect Black women today? Yeah, well, we can trace it back to somewhere. And that somewhere is always going to be slavery.
Some of you Black men participate in the disrespect towards Black women. When you ask us to get down so that the white woman can sit up.
Black women are being raised as men and then being blamed for not knowing how to feel like women. We are the ones that everyone depends on, the go-tos, the nurturers, the ones that hold everything together. We have gotten so good at turning everybody else's chaos into clarity for them to a point where that's just what people expect from us, within our race and even outside of our race. Wasn't it just the other day where a mother told a son, if ever you get lost, look out for a Black woman because they can always be counted on to be safe, to be protectors, to be providers? You get my drift? That's how reliable we have become for everyone else. And without knowing it, we've built up this identity around being dependable, being strong, being safe for everyone else. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself what it's costing you, what it's costing us? Because being everything for everybody is the reason why you don't feel like yourself anymore. It's like pouring all you got into everybody else's glass and then wondering why at the end of the day, your glass is still empty. And that's exactly why I am starting a new series. 21 days to choosing yourself without guilt. And today is day 1. If you're ready to spend the next 21 days to choosing yourself without guilt with me, comment I'm ready and follow for more.
You see, with these ladies, they're all just trying to make money on TikTok, right? Because when you say something like that, oh, we're the go-to. When did you become the go-to? When the white lady brought in feminism and brought it to the Black community, because that's when everything went downhill. When that happened, that was the day you became masculine. You told your daughters, go to college, take advantage of the government to go to college. The government put it in place with giving you feminism. Come on now, we got to cook. Let me cook. Giving you feminism, also giving you certain grants and certain things, DEI, gave you that handout. Men didn't get the same handout, but they gave you that handout and you took it to the moon. A lot of ladies got their degrees after that, but then a lot of ladies stayed home, took advantage of the system. So you got it 2-part. It came twofold. And you paid for it. So now everyone sees you as masculine. That's not our fault. But it's hurting you when it comes to dating, right? Because that's why you see Black men going across these waters, getting relationships. Black women do too when they humble themselves. That makes the difference. But you can't go across or go around being how you want to be. I understand what she's saying. I'm not going so deep on her. I'm just addressing what she said. She can do whatever she wants to do. I'm not here to bash her video. I'm just stating facts about what she's saying. Because, yeah, she's addressing what she wants to address, but I'm addressing the real. Hold up. So we're going to continue it, right? I got something for you ladies. A production by DJ More to Life. Hit him with it.
Nobody wants me, a BLK woman, yeah, nobody wants me. I can't get a man. To get a date, I gotta change my nationality. I'm sick of this. Nobody wants me. KBLK. Nobody wants me. I can't get a man. Order to get a date, I have to change my nationality. I'm sick of this.
A couple weeks back, I saw this post on my For You page of this girl talking about how she started to get way more hits on her dating profile once she removed her race from her profile.
Oh, DJ Hitmaker, DJ More to Life hits him again. In order to get a date, I gotta change my nationality. Well, I'd be.
And the reason why is because once she removed the fact that she was Black/African American, she wasn't getting filtered out because people were filtering out Black and African American women. And she wrote this whole article on it, and it was featured in some major magazine. I can't remember the name of it. And I hate dating apps. I've sworn off dating apps. I refuse to download another one. If my husband is on a dating app, Gabriel is gonna have to come tell me himself. Okay, the angel, Gabriel, meaning the angel that told Mary the Virgin that she was pregnant with Jesus. Okay, that Gabriel. I will not use another one. I'm planning to hire a matchmaker or do an arranged marriage. Or just meet my husband in a grocery store aisle or a bar, a dive bar. That's my current plan. I refuse to use a dating app. That was a long, ranty way of saying that. But back in the olden days, when I did use dating apps in college and my first year and a half of law school, I noticed that it wasn't, this is part of the reason why I don't use dating apps. You will go through this phase thinking that you are just ugly and no one finds you attractive. And then you will go out of state or out of the country and realize, oh no, it was just where I was. It was just the geography. Because when I studied abroad for a semester, that was the most hits I have ever gotten on a dating app, ever. Or when I went to New York for a weekend or a few days, got so many more hits than when I was in Austin, Texas. So I say all of that to say dating apps are just not a good gauge of what a catch you are. And I think that it's just created a way for men to be lazy and not approach women in person because they know they can just scroll on the dating app. I hate dating apps.
Yeah. So, of course, men are going to do that. Men aren't going to approach a man ever again. That's facts. And just because you're getting hit on when you go to a certain state, of course, when you go to New York, guys are going to be more, how can I say it? More open to talk in New York. I used to talk in New York. If I didn't have a wife and I went to New York, I would still talk. Some people just cut like that. New York, you find guys like that. But, you know, just because somebody wants to clap cheeks doesn't mean that you're having a better time. Because if you were, you'd be married.
Parents of Black daughters who are teenagers who do not allow your daughters to date or even acknowledge that they are interested in the opposite sex when they're 16, 17, 18, 14, 10.
This woman is absolutely right. Gather around real quick for a little story. So growing up, I really had an unusual amount of freedom. Like, I learned how to drive at 12. I had a MySpace at 12. I was hitting the teen clubs at 12, listening to Waka Flocka, Dress and Goes, they from down south, okay? And it forced me to grow up super fast. Like, picture me, a 12-year-old, in the club at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. It was all fun and games, but it really made me mature quicker than most people. Well, than most kids at the time. My mom was different. She was built different. Like, she would share stories with me about my grandmother and how strict she was and the challenges that she faced, like sneaking out of the house, being physically abused, verbally abused. My mom told me how she wanted something different for me. So there was no gray area, just trust and constant communication. She blew my phone up all the time, but she made sure I was good. So she gave me the freedom to explore. I watched my cousins get pregnant. They were young teenage moms. I watched them sneak out of the house. I watched them do all of the rebellious things and make poor decisions when it came to life. I feel like if my father was in the home, none of the stuff that I was doing probably would have been allowed. However, me and my mom established trust early on. Like, I had freedom, but I didn't get into smoking, drinking, all of those things that this lady is talking about in this video. I didn't get into any of that because early exposure taught me what not to do. I thank God for having the cool mom, the one who let the group of friends come over, guys come over, girls come over, everybody coming over. Main thing was just we used to hang out on the porch. Like, she wouldn't let nobody in the house, but we was on the porch all day. And surprisingly, she was so relaxed when it came to me being around the opposite sex. Like, I remember being in like 3rd grade and her taking me to, this young boy got me a gift for Valentine's Day, and she took me to go get him something for Valentine's Day too, and that was like 3rd grade. So yes, I think that mothers have to not be, I don't know about how my mama did it, but you got to find that gray area, because being too strict and not allowing your child freedom so you can build trust, which is going to be key. You have to give your child freedom so you can build trust with them. So yeah, I tell y'all about my mom, some of the things I've learned from her and had to unlearn from her when it's dealing with the narcissistic traits thing. But when it comes to my mom giving me the freedom, I would not be the person that I am today if she was how her mom was with her. And I appreciate my mom for trusting me and allowing me the space to grow.
Well, your mom took a risk because what did you just say? You hit on something. You said if you had a father around, that wouldn't have happened. And what do they say? You got lucky, right? You got lucky because you were a certain way. It was in you already, not what your mom did. Because there's some kids, if they get the freedom like you do, they would run amok. I got that same freedom. I made some horrible decisions when I was younger, but it all worked out. But still, not having a father around, I'm happy she mentioned that because she mentioned the issue a lot of them grew up with, right? Having that freedom could have backfired on you so hard. You could have been just like your friends, getting pregnant, not even sneaking around, doing it right in front of your mom. She got lucky with you. But let's continue.
But I'm so tired of seeing black women, especially dark-skinned black women, when they are casted into, let's say, main roles, they are masculinized and, or like they're gay or something like that. Like, y'all put all the white women into the same lovey-dovey roles, romance roles, which we have seen since, like all the rom-coms. But how often do we put black women in there where it's very unproblematic and they get exactly, you put them in the same type of roles that white women get? Very few times, I feel like. Very few times. In American history, with all the movies and all the TV shows that we have, if the woman is going to be dark-skinned black woman, is going to be a dark-skinned black woman, the fate is not going to be the same as what people give to white, female actresses. And we've seen it. I know this isn't new, but I'm just saying it again because I felt the same thing with Shuri. Like when they in Black Panther, you see in the first one, she's feminine. She has her braids on. She's a cutie. And then she's put in a place of power, and all of a sudden she's looking like a boy. And I'm like, what's going on? Because when do we see that shift happening? Why does it always have to be this way? Because don't they also deserve a nice role with, a knight in shining armor also come in, and they also deserve that romance. That's just my opinion. I feel like it's always removed from black women to have the same type of roles that they put white women in those friendly romance movies, rom-coms, all these like very cute movies. It doesn't have to be any traumatic role. Cannot she not be just enjoying the love of a man, whether he's black, whatever, and enjoying that without it being like something deeper? You know, I'm so tired. I feel like American movies, we probably produce like the best, or if anything, a lot of movies every year, and we're never seen in those roles. The best you can get is Nollywood, and that's where you go see black women being in, a romance role. Okay, I'm done.
See, what you have to understand, Hollywood, when you see people talk about devil worship, all that stuff, and you see them in these different seances and doing these different rituals, that's for a reason. And you have to understand, black people, a lot of times when it comes to films, are made to look a certain way, right? Especially black females. So, in order to stop it, stop acting in it, stop participating in it. That's the only way you're gonna get different results. And as far as the music, stop making it. That's the only way to change it. But it's never gonna stop. But let's continue.
And aggressive, or have they had to protect themselves in a system where that's the only way that they can survive? I read a book called The Making of a Slave, and how the way like certain dynamics are set up, this is exactly what they wanted. Like the whole goal was to get the man out of the house and reduce him down to his body, a tall dreadhead, a YN, make the woman hyper independent and also make her daughter hyper independent. So I don't like when people go, that's just the way black women are. Like, no, we were socially engineered to be like this. I do notice with the right woman, notice how I said the right woman, whenever you give them a safe space, they open up, they soften up. Some of y'all just like to be mean, aggressive, and rude, and it's like you gotta leave them bitches alone, you know what I mean? But ultimately, I think a lot of the discourse is just another way of how they use to pin us against each other. The more we're arguing about each other and how you do this or you do that, like, don't get me wrong, we gotta hold each other accountable, but the more we're having this like black gender war, the less we can actually focus on what the actual problem is, which is, like the system and the people who make and continue to uphold this system.
You know, what you're talking about, what needs to happen is they need to just be feminine, right? Like you can't make a man just start wearing purses and walking around and acting like a female. It doesn't work like that. But these females, that's what this brother has to understand. They're taking on that role. They've took on it. I said it with the first video. They've taken on that role since then. So is that the black man's fault? Only thing happening today is correction. And yes, that does need to stop. So you know what's happening now? Men talk about it, but we talk about it only to influence other men to make the right decision and look outside. And that's what men are doing.
This is not for all of you guys, of course. This is for some of you guys. I really need you guys to start protecting and sticking up for black women when we are disrespected in places where you guys are at, right? And I'm sure that y'all done heard videos on this about how black women get, disrespected in a club scene or, in Hollywood or whatever the case is. And sometimes some of y'all participate in that. Some of you black men participate in the disrespect towards black women. When you ask us to get down so that the white woman can sit up, when you ask us to get up so the Asian woman can sit up, it's disrespectful. And sometimes I feel like you guys forget that you have black daughters, or that you are going to have a black daughter. Whether or not she's mixed or not, it doesn't matter. She's still going to be a black woman. So it really just questions me. I question it sometimes because it's like, black women are the most disrespected, and you participate in that by doing stuff like that. And then y'all forget y'all have whole black moms. Please make it make sense. Please start protecting black women in spaces where they get disrespected. Don't add on to it. It doesn't make any sense.
How are they participating in it? By getting with females outside of you, because you said they're black and they're gonna have a black daughter with that Asian or with that white or with that Latina, whatever, right? But it's disrespecting you. How? You see this? They're making claim. We're all human beings. I told y'all, man, the sooner people realize that we all come from the same place, is the sooner the world will be a better place. You have so much division because people don't believe we all come from the same place. This person hates that person. You got out of hand. Talking like that is out of hand. I'm not going to finish addressing this. Let's continue on.
Men are brainwashed to not protect black women till this day. During slavery, yep, and we're going back to slavery, when white men would purposely go out their way to rape black women, torture black women, they would purposely do this in front of the black men, right? So the black men's first instinct is, let me protect my women. And so when the black men tried to protect their women, you know what the white men did? They would pour gas all over the black man's body and light him on fire in front of everybody to watch, to instill fear into the enslaved. They would purposely cover the whole black man's body in tar and feathers, and beat them to death, or again light them on fire until they burned to death. And don't even get me into buck breaking, where they would rape the black man in front of his whole entire family, children included, and other slaves, to demasculinize him and instill fear in him and everyone else. And they would use tactics like this so often to the point where black men became programmed to not protect their black women, because whenever they would try, they would die in the process, quite literally. And if you know how epigenetics work and transgenerational trauma works, you would see how that has transpired into the black community today. Black men have been programmed and brainwashed to not protect black women for centuries because of the sick, evil, disturbing tactics white people used on our community to keep us divided. This is why black women had to become strong and independent, because we knew at that point we could no longer rely on our counterparts. Now we need to rely on ourselves. And so the next time you go on strong, independent black women, or you're just wondering, why don't black men protect black women today? Yeah, well, we can trace it back to somewhere. And that somewhere is always going to be slavery. And no, I'm not saying it's justified or that makes it okay. It's very disgusting and sick that black men don't protect black women till this day. But if we know where it started from, if we know where it stems from, then maybe we can unlearn it.
You know, I don't got much to say about that. So, because this talk, it's been happening for the longest, right? I'm going to let the sister, Shay Sade, take it away. Shout out to her. She has a YouTube channel and everything.
The common complaint that black women as a collective are not being protected by their men. Now, what is rarely talked about, however, is the fact that we as black women actually voted their protection away. Now, what do I mean by this? Black women are the most feminist. By and large, we overwhelmingly vote for feminist policies. And under a feminist framework, men and women are equal. They should have, equal opportunities, equal access to jobs, to pay, to positions of power, things of that nature. Men and women are essentially to be put on an equal framework. Now, under that, why would you need protection from somebody that you are equal to? Why would you need protection to somebody who is essentially equivalent to you? That will be considered misogynist. That will be considered disrespectful to a woman's ability to maintain and protect herself. And so we have to be honest about the fact that this is the kind of culture or framework that we did create. And now, fast forward decades later, where things are a lot more feminist than ever, and women do have a lot of opportunities, and they are put in positions to compete with men. Now it creates this complicated framework in relationships. But here is the bigger picture. The reason that we are not protected as Black women is because we voted that we didn't need protection by by coming into agreement with some of those different laws, and by again putting us in positions to be more and more equal or equivalent standing with men. We in essence said we're the same. We are just as capable of doing all these things. And so again, I ask you the question: if you are able or capable, why then ask for protection from the very men that you are equal to? And this is why, under this framework, this is why, under the current structure, we cannot expect for a community or collective of Black women that we have essentially said that we are just as equal to. We can't expect them to now operate under a traditional framework. We are now under a modern setup. Apart from maybe a husband or a family or maybe a close-knit community, that community framework that we're looking for, it doesn't really work or operate under this, capitalistic, individualistic, feminist structure that we currently have today. And I think this is just something that we're going to have to reckon with.
You know what happened? Black women were lied to. You were given feminism, they gave you everything, and now, recently, they took it all away. They took away DEI, everything. So what's happened? When feminism came in, you were taught to get the opportunity. You were pretty much raised as men, right? Feminism, pretty much, I'm equal to a man. That's what she's explaining, and that's what happened. And what's going on is when they took away everything from you, DEI, so many females recently got fired. You guys saw the videos. I even talked about it, right? And those consequences became a crisis. Imagine you get everything and then they snatch it all away from you. That's when it's like, oh, all of us are getting fired. Oh, now I need help. Protect us. How are we going to protect you? We're equal. We're equal. We need help too. Men are struggling too out here. And yeah, if guys out there, even ladies struggling, definitely reach out to me. I can show you different opportunities of how to make money online, how to hire people to work for you. They work for less, you make more. And of course, they still make a decent salary. You want to know about that? Reach out to me. Link in the description. And also, I'll make sure to have it in the comments. But yeah, that's where we are now. But I'm still willing to help people out, also females out that are struggling. Or even not just struggling. If you want to make extra money, reach out to me.
In big trouble, like for real. I deleted the video I'm going to be talking about because it was a bunch of men in the comments coming for me. But I'm going to say this. Black men specifically were so upset because a Black woman, me myself, said that if I have enough money to take care of myself, so I expect the person that I'm in a relationship with and planning to get married to should be able to take care of me. And Black men just were in the uproar under that video about that. They were saying that I was begging and I can't take care of myself. Mind you, they don't know how much money I made. If they knew how much money I made, they wouldn't be saying that. But I'm not going to expose my hand to prove a point to no men in my comment section. Off a video I'm going to get paid for. Then what made me realize Black women are really in trouble is the fact that white men were under that video as well, saying this is why a Black men don't date Black women. That's embarrassing. The fact that y'all got a white man in my comment section saying that is crazy. But I'm going to just leave it at this. Every other race raised their daughters to look for a man who's going to provide for her and their future kids. So why is it a problem when Black women do it? Why are we beggars when Black women do it? Why are we users when Black women do it? But every other race is allowed to want a man who's going to provide for them. Why?
Well, because you have some females that get online and say it for views. but a lot of times you really mean it. That's the big issue. And then, you know, you get used and abused by the guys that you like, because that's what happens. You ladies want to get the money from the man you don't like, and let Tyrone come around and say, "I like you and I want you." He's getting a round of applause, and then they go, "I'm being celibate. I'm practicing celibacy now."
Let's quickly talk about why celibacy is not the answer. I hear from so many women as a life and relationship coach for powerful professional Black and brown women who want to be celibate because their relationships are not working out, or who choose celibacy because they can't figure out how to make a relationship work, or who decide to be celibate because they just don't want to deal with men anymore. And while they think that they're doing the right thing, so many other problems are created because of that choice. Let's unpack. Anytime you choose to deprive yourself of something, it can become problematic if it is not done from an intentional, an intuitive, and an empowered place of decision making. Because during the deprivation period, what may happen is that you will either crave that thing so much more so that the whole time you're not having it, all you're thinking about is having it.
You know, that's like the video I just made. I need touch. I need somebody to touch me. Man.
Or in order to justify your choice, you can demonize the thing. And so then you begin to look at men as bad, and sex as bad, and intimacy as bad. And neither of those things really aids in the healing process or positions you to be a good partner when the time comes for you to open up. And when
Intimacy deprived, right? Intimacy deprived.
you're no longer going to be celibate. So celibacy is not the answer to solve your relationship problems if you are not actually solving your relationship problems. If you don't take the time to really self-evaluate, self-reflect, and seek some professional support and professional help from a coach like myself, someone who can guide you through the process of uncovering and discovering what your relationship triggers are, what your emotional barriers and blocks are, then you're only going to find yourself repeating the same mistakes once you come out of your state of celibacy. Celibacy is great to give yourself time to recalibrate and to nourish yourself and to nurture yourself and to take a step back from the rest of the world and from dating and from the energy of intimacy. But it is not an end-all, be-all, catch-all solution for the problems that you are experiencing in your relationships. You are absolutely going to need to take the time to get clear on why you're choosing the partners that you are, why you're experiencing the failures that you are, and why you're not able to create the results that you want. That self-assessment, that self-evaluation, that self-healing is what's going to lead you into perfect partnership and into a healthy relationship, whether you choose to be celibate in the process or not.
See, usually I say, call on Tyrone. Forget Tyrone. You ladies need to call on her, right? She's a coach. Everything she said was right. I admit it, like, because usually I would say, no, that's wrong. She's right. And for you ladies, celibacy is not the answer. You ladies need a coach like this that's going to help you through. Because what you've been doing in the past hasn't worked. A lot of you need females. It can't come from me. I can show you to somebody like her and say, go get some help. And you know what people are doing now? Because these females go to therapists, they sit on the couch, the therapist gives them what they want. Pat her on the back, let them go, give them some pills or something like that if they go to not a therapist, to psychiatrist, but they got psychiatrists and therapists. Because nowadays, I don't want to get into that. That's a whole nother that may be another video, right? Pill popping is a big thing now. But yeah. Thank y'all for watching. And I gotta say this because, guys, please be sure to subscribe because I put a lot of thought into these videos. You see, every video is connected and moving, and I put a lot of thought into these videos. So be sure to subscribe. It's free to subscribe, right? But yeah, guys, thank y'all for watching. Peace out. See you next video.
Answer's coming.